The Fleeting Beauty of White Nights by Fyodor Dostoevsky. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a literary gem that often gets overshadowed by Dostoevsky's monumental works like Crime and Punishment or The Brothers Karamazov. But believe me, Fyodor Dostoevsky's novella, White Nights, is a masterpiece in its own right, a poignant, tender, and deeply insightful exploration of loneliness, imagination, and the bittersweet nature of fleeting human connection. Published in 1848, White Nights is one of Dostoevsky's earlier works, written before his Siberian exile, and it offers a unique glimpse into his more romantic and sentimental side, while still carrying the profound psychological depth he's famous for. It's a story that unfolds over just 4 magical white nights in St. Petersburg, those ethereal summer evenings when the sun barely dips below the horizon, bathing the city in a perpetual twilight. And it's in this dreamlike atmosphere that our story truly comes alive. At its heart, White Nights is a tale of 2 lonely souls who find each other in the most unexpected circumstances. Our unnamed narrator is a classic Dostoevskian dreamer, a solitary, introverted young man living a life almost entirely within his own imagination. He spends his days wandering the streets of St. Petersburg, observing others, constructing elaborate fantasies about their lives, and feeling utterly disconnected from the bustling reality around him. He's a man who has conversations with houses, who knows every corner of his city better than he knows any human being. His only real companion is his old, grumpy maid, Matryona. One evening, during one of these white nights, his solitary routine is broken. He encounters a young woman, Nastenka, crying by a canal. He's hesitant at first, but when he sees a man harassing her, he intervenes. This chance encounter blossoms into a series of late-night meetings over the course of 4 consecutive nights. Host more animated. And this is where the magic truly begins. Nastenka, despite her initial apprehension, is drawn to the narrator's earnestness and his almost childlike innocence. She's a stark contrast to him, vibrant, impulsive, and full of life, even though she carries her own burden of sorrow. She agrees to meet him, but on one crucial condition: they must remain friends. She reveals that she's in love with another man, a former lodger in her grandmother's house, who promised to return for her exactly 1 year ago. She's been waiting faithfully for his return. The narrator, despite instantly falling in love with Nastenka, agrees to her terms. He becomes her confidant, her emotional support, and her eager listener. He pours out his heart, describing his life as a dreamer, a life lived almost entirely in fantasy, where he conjures up grand adventures and passionate romances, only to return to the stark reality of his solitude. He confesses his deep loneliness, a feeling that many of us, especially in an increasingly disconnected world, can intimately understand. Nastenka, in turn, shares her own story. She lives a sheltered life, literally pinned to her blind grandmother's dress to prevent her from mischief. She recounts her budding romance with a lodger, how he promised to come back for her, and her desperate hope that he will keep his word. Their conversations are a beautiful dance of vulnerability and connection, each finding a rare solace in the other's presence. For the narrator, Nastenka is a beacon, a sudden burst of reality and genuine human interaction in his otherwise imagined existence. For Nastenka, he is a kind, understanding soul who offers comfort in her anxious wait. As the nights progress, the narrator's unrequited love for Nastenka deepens, becoming an agonizing ache. He knows her heart belongs to another, yet he cannot help but hope. He helps her draft letters to her absent lover, agonizing over every word, becoming an unwitting accomplice in his own heartbreak. This is where Dostoevsky truly shines, delving into the raw, often contradictory emotions of the human psyche. The narrator's selflessness in helping Nastenka, even as it crushes his own desires, is a powerful testament to the complexities of love and compassion. But as the 4th and final white night draws to a close, a pivotal moment arrives. Nastenka's lover, who seemed to have forgotten her, suddenly reappears. In a heartbreaking, yet utterly human instant, Nastenka rushes into his arms, leaving the narrator standing alone, his brief, beautiful dream shattered. The ending of White Nights is famously bittersweet. The narrator is left with nothing but the memory of those 4 magical evenings. He reflects on the fleeting nature of happiness, the pain of unrequited love, and the harsh reality that his imagined world cannot sustain him forever. Yet, in his final lines, there's a profound sense of gratitude. He thanks Nastenka for that minute of bliss, for breaking through his solitude and showing him what real connection, however brief, truly feels like. So, what can we, as psychology lovers and avid readers, take away from this seemingly simple story? Firstly, the profound nature of loneliness and escapism. Dostoevsky masterfully portrays the psychological toll of isolation and how individuals might retreat into elaborate inner worlds to cope. The narrator's dreamer archetype isn't just a character. It's a mirror reflecting the human tendency to seek refuge in fantasy when reality becomes too painful or unfulfilling. Have you ever found yourself lost in a book, a game, or even just your own thoughts as a way to escape? Let me know in the comments below. Secondly, the brutal honesty of unrequited love. This isn't a fairy tale. It's a raw depiction of loving someone who cannot or will not love you back in the same way. Dostoevsky doesn't shy away from the pain, but he also highlights the beauty of giving love, even when it's not reciprocated. It's a reminder that even in heartbreak, there can be growth and a deeper understanding of oneself. Thirdly, the tension between idealism and reality. The White Nights themselves are a metaphor, a period of prolonged twilight, neither full day nor full night, mirroring the ambiguous, dreamlike state of the narrator's existence and his relationship with Nastenka. Their connection thrives in this liminal space, but cannot survive the harsh light of day or the return to conventional reality. It forces us to ask, how much of our happiness is built on idealized versions of reality, and what happens when those illusions inevitably fade? White Nights is a testament to Dostoevsky's genius in capturing the nuances of the human heart. It's a story that resonates because it speaks to universal experiences, the yearning for connection, the comfort of fantasy, and the inevitable collision with reality. It reminds us that even a brief, unfulfilled encounter can leave an indelible mark, shaping us in ways we might not immediately understand. If you're looking for a Dostoevsky novel that's a bit more accessible than his sprawling epics, but still packed with profound psychological insight and emotional depth, White Nights is absolutely where you should start. It's a beautifully crafted, heartbreaking, and ultimately hopeful story about the enduring power of human connection, even if it's just for a few magical nights. Have you read White Nights? What were your thoughts on the narrator's journey or Nastenka's choices? What other Dostoevsky works should we explore next? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with a fellow book lover, and subscribe for more literary discussions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.